I'm going to spend the next few minutes talking about Norfolk Forward, or the blueprint, because quite rightly people say, why now? Why change? We're a high-performing authority, and absolutely, Norfolk County Council employees, you've got a right to be proud about a lot of what you've achieved. If you just take this year, council tax, the lowest ever from Norfolk County Council. There's now an embedded culture of delivering efficiencies. The County Council's delivered some £72 million of efficiencies over the last 4 years. I'm particularly proud about how this County Council has reacted to the scale of the economic downturn, how you've, throughout the recession, helped Norfolk residents and Norfolk businesses cope with the challenges that they faced. There's a lot of good work that's happened in regeneration of Kings Lynn, such as the Naru's regeneration area, over at Great Yarmouth at Eastport. A fantastic new port taking shape there. We've also seen the build-up of the creative hub at Epic, the engineering hub over at Hethel. The economic development team are attracting some £35 for every pound that it costs. But it's not just economic development, it's service improvements that are happening right across the County Council. In adult social services, we're now seeing people having greater choice through direct payments, assistive technology and personal budgets. In planning and transportation, we're bucking the national trend in public transport usage. More people are using public transport in Norwich now than ever before. Who would have thought just 10 years ago that residual waste, the amount of waste going through to landfill, would actually be decreasing? But it is. We've developed a vibrant culture and art scene. Our library, the Norfolk and Norwich Millennium Library, for the 3rd year running, has just been named as England's #1 library, both in terms of visitors and actual book usage. And just outside the door, we've got the country's best archive centre. In education and schools, at long last, we're now achieving the national averages for GCSEs. And over the last 10 years, again, we've transformed Norfolk schools, seeing many of them rebuilt, completely refurbished. But of course, we've got considerable challenges ahead. Not many politicians will admit to the scale of the challenge that this country faces economically. I think that the public sector, the local government, we've been comparatively protected over the last 3 years, thanks to the 3-year comprehensive spending review settlement that we had back in 2007. And so we've had some financial security. But who knows, whatever the colour of government is after next month, who knows what they'll be assisting local government with in the way of our grant. So it's certainly an unsettled time and an uncertain time at that. That economic pressure comes on top of many other pressures that this county council faces. Rising pension costs, demographic pressures through the number of older people in the county, and also other pressures such as increasing landfill tax costs as well. We've also got other performance challenges. So, we've delivered some fantastic service improvements that the Audit Commission has recognised, both as a organisation, but also individually. Service performance now in children's services, adult social services have been fantastic. The expectation from our residents, our customers, is that we'll continue in that service performance. And how do we square that circle of rising customer expectation, given the backdrop to the financial challenges that we face? So how are we going to meet those challenges, and what do I mean by blueprint? Well, firstly, I'd like to continue with the ambitions, the strategic ambitions that we set out so clearly a few years ago, to be an inspirational place with a clear sense of identity, with a vibrant, strong, sustainable economy, and to have aspirational people with high levels of achievement and skills. And that still holds firm. But the context in which we're operating, and that's the whole of the public sector, I think we need to change how we work, challenging the way we work now to be better, simpler, and faster. The blueprint that we've created sets out the path for Norfolk County Council over the next 3 to 5 years. It sees us drive out waste and duplication, sharing of services where it makes sense, using best practice from wherever it comes from, either within the public sector with our partners or from the private sector. And most crucially, reviewing what is our core business. What is it that we want to focus on? We know that we can't continue to do everything that we currently do. And it's the hardest question of all. What is our priorities? What are our non-priorities? What is non-core business? The blueprint sets out a council that looks and feels more local, with fair and easy access right across the county to high quality performing services. One of the downsides of the conversation that we've held over the last couple of years through the local government reorganisation is that so often Norfolk County Council comes out as remote. And I know that's not true. We're delivering services right in to people's homes across the county. Want to continue to make sure that we give the best possible value for money for our taxpayers. We've got a proud record now of delivering at or below inflation rate increases for council tax. And we've got to make sure that we're transparent and accountable. Quite rightly, people are going to be challenging us more and more about how we're spending their money. Equally, I want to see a Norfolk County, that has got a stronger economy, improve standard living for us all. It's not about focusing on the economy for the sake of economic improvement, but it's a means to an end. I want to see a reducing gap between the best and the worst off, because we've improved the position of those that are worst off in the county. We want to make sure that citizens of Norfolk, the residents of Norfolk, have got a strong voice in their neighbourhoods, that they can play a role, and they know how to play that role in shaping decisions and taking an active part in what they do and what we do. And most importantly of all, to make sure that Norfolk has got a strong national profile. Of course, we all know that we sit out on arguably what is the end of the longest cul-de-sac in the country, the A11, which we're working hard to change. And we know we've got to work twice as hard as many other counties across the country to make sure our voice is heard. But we need to make sure that Norfolk is involved in those debates, regionally and nationally. And it exerts a powerful influence way beyond the traditional boundaries of the county council and the county itself.